Stephen, over the last couple of weeks, it feels like the Irish League's taken a little bit of a back seat to the international scene, but it's back with a vengeance this weekend. We've got a full fixture list at last, rather than having games called off. Big question for you. Who do you think has been the best manager in the Irish League so far this season? You've got the likes of Larne who are going well, Glentoran are up near the top of the table, Coleraine, they've been superb. Linfield have had their struggles, but they're still up there. Or is there somebody else from the pack that you think has been the best Irish League manager so far this season?
Right, Keith. So there are a few contenders. You've got to put Ruaidhri Higgins in there for Coleraine, because although Coleraine have spent loads of money, I know they hate me mentioning that, you mention that, the world mention that, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
He has blended that team together brilliantly. They're scoring goals for fun and they're top of the table. I also think Declan Devine at Glentoran needs a shout out because, again, he's brought in new players, spending money again. And I thought Glentoran, I thought it might take them a while to get going. But again, they're up there or thereabouts. But for me, the manager of the season so far, no question about it, has been the golden child turned the golden manager, Lee Feeney at Bangor. What Bangor have done, Keith, I think has been underplayed in some quarters, because everyone thought that they would be lambs to the slaughter. Everyone thought that they would be going straight back down. And look at them. They're in the top 6 with about 15 games played, I believe. So you've got to give huge credit to the Seasiders and Lee Feeney. What he has done at that football club anyway is remarkable, bringing them up through the divisions. And now that he's in the top flight, it's like the boys have taken it to a duck to water. The win over Coleraine was sensational. What a result that was. But there's been other fine results as well. And Feeney has been absolutely brilliant. And for me, he's the manager of the season so far.
Would you be a little worried if you're a Bangor fan over the last couple of weeks? Obviously, there was a late defeat to Coleraine, a late defeat to Ballymena United, a credible draw away to Portadown, of course, at the weekend. But it feels like the results have dipped off a little.
Well, that was always going to happen, but they put themselves in a really good position to stay up, and that was the main aim at the start of the season, Keith. I remember talking to Lee Feeney before it all kicked off, and I said, if you finish in 11th place, it'll be like winning the title for you, because that would have given them a playoff, and I'd fancy Bangor in that type of match. So for them to be mid-table right now, a good portion of the season in, that's just total credit to the footballers at Bangor, who have been exceptional, and the manager and his management staff as well. The whole club at Bangor, there's a real feel-good factor at the moment, and it's brilliant to see, because for me, Bangor's a big football club, big sporting town. And or is it a city now?
It's a city.
Big sporting city. And listen, I've been delighted for Lee, because he eats, sleeps and drinks football, and he's proven himself to be a brilliant manager. The only worry for Bangor is that other teams might be looking at Lee thinking, my goodness, what a job he's doing at Clandy. Maybe we could take him and he could do some of that for us.
I think you're right. There's no doubt Bangor and Lee Feeney have been absolutely superb this year. Ben Arthur's leading the charge up front. But if there was one contender for the title that you've bestowed upon Lee Feeney, it would have to be Gary Haveron at Larne, who started the season, let's not forget, not as manager at Larne. It was Nathan Rooney. Then he was interim manager for what seemed like an incredibly long period of time. But now he is manager, and you get the feeling that in many ways it's always really been his club at the top end of it. And they're doing a superb job. There was predictions that this, after Kenny Bruce left, with Tiernan Lynch's departure a year ago now, that Larne would fade away and fall back and become a mid-table team, or even worse. Not a bit of it. They're right there in the title race. They're every bit as serious about it as Coleraine or Glentoran or Linfield. And I do now fancy Coleraine to win it, but I think Larne are going to be right up there near the end of the season.
Yeah, you've got to give Gary Haveron credit. There's been a lot of turmoil at Larne, a lot of changes, but the one constant has been Gary Haveron, and I know the players respect him greatly. He'll be gutted, though, that they're not in the County Antrim Shield final, won't he? Because I know that essentially Larne have virtually owned that tournament for years now. So we have to give praise to Carrick Rangers and Stephen Baxter, who is still a phenomenal manager, still getting teams into finals. Like Carrick haven't been to a final for like decades. Well, certainly the County Antrim Shield final.
County Antrim
anyway.
Shield, they won it in 1993, so
Yeah.
33 years ago.
And Stephen Baxter, although I wouldn't put him as manager of the year so far, he is worthy of a mention, because to get Carrick to a final, that's impressive going. He remains a class act.
I think we're giving the crown to Lee Feeney for now, but we will be back later in the season for further discussions on this matter.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I'll tell you what, Keith, you see if Bangor finish in the top 6, top 8, regardless if Coleraine win the title or if Glentoran win the title, Lee Feeney's going to be a shout for manager of the year, because he will have gone above and beyond for Bangor Football Club.